Said everyone's opinion is worth the same until you don't have enough respect to articulate yours in good faith and then pretend that me having an opinion that deviates from yours is a form of insanity. I don't care if anyone else thinks that Zoink is better because he beats levels first. People beating levels first doesn't mean they are better, and that is just a completely flawed argument. So you do care because you said that it's a flawed argument. I've said nothing about W Popoff in this reply section. Nothing about W Popoff. I have not wrote that nigga's name in this section. It's not even conceivable to think that Popoff or Trick could currently be above Zoink in any way. Full stop. That right there is Glaze. It's not even conceivable, giving him, in my opinion, the slight edge over Zoink. Not that controversial, to be honest. Everyone is getting their G-string in a bunch. Hey, great vid, but I think Trick should be 3, Popoff 2, Zoink at 1. The Cookies beating Demons down. Popoff has shown a lot of inactivity. That's fair. That is not Glaze. That's fair. Now Zoink is so ahead of anybody else that it would be propaganda to have a different opinion. If that's not Glaze, I don't know what is. What's good, everybody? mdog5. Welcome back to another video. This is the video that you're probably looking forward to if you are here, clicked on the link. There you go. This is the Glaze video. But I didn't want to do it like in the sense of just making fun of the people who I think were glazing. I'm actually gonna like get into the arguments that were being said. But just some context, I made a top 10 Geometry Dash list video. In number 3, spoiler alert, I mean you probably already seen it if you clicked on here, but in number 3 is Zoink, number 2, Trick, 1, Popoff. That's my top 3 for Geometry Dash. Now this didn't sit right with a lot of people who were watching the video. And a lot of comments were made coming from a place of not actually watching the video and just rage. So then I posted in the comments, I had a pinned comment saying that I'm going to make another episode of Geometry Glaze the way y'all are talking about Zoink, because I'm not gonna lie, the amount of straight females that were in this comment section were insane the way y'all were hopping on this man. So to clarify my position, I don't care if you think that Zoink is number 1. I think that I even said in the video that there are plenty of great arguments. There are compelling arguments, that's what I said. Compelling arguments as to why Zoink would be above Trick, but you know, since Zoink, Popoff, and Trick are all so close in skill, you can argue that there's, you know, a lot of good ground for him to be the number 1 player. That's fine. That's a fine opinion. But it's the attitude that him being at number 1 should be common knowledge. That's what I had an issue with. It's the attitude that any suggestion that Zoink isn't in the number 1 spot in a video that I made, my personal list, it is just like inappropriate, ridiculous. I mean, some people were calling it propaganda. It's not a matter of disagreeing because I respect everybody's opinion. Everybody has the same opinion until you aren't faithful to the conversation that is being had, until you just start spouting off in the comment section, typing whatever, honestly restating things that I've already said in the video, which based on some of these comments it's clear that it just wasn't watched, or what I said in the video wasn't considered. But yeah, I'm all for discussions, you know, which is why I was replying to a lot of what I saw in the comment section. But when we're just like spouting off foolishness, I'm definitely gonna call it glazing. And I'm gonna give you some examples of like good comments and then examples of just like ridiculousness. Which there was a lot of. And then Trick himself came on to the video and was like, y'all are being crazy. Shout out to Trick. I was about to go crazy. I was about to be like, what is what they're saying right? Am I just like a dumbass for not putting Zoink at number 1? Like, am I really like just you'll notice that the comment section of this video is turned off, and trust me, it's not because I'm too afraid to engage. I did that literally the entire last video that I dropped. It's just because it gets exhausting having notifications pop up on your phone with just arguments that don't really make much sense, and then arguments that don't change what my opinion on anything, because despite all the good points that were brought up about Zoink having the #1 spot, I still think he's number 3. And I'm sure despite everything that I've said in the video, clearly in the video and in the comments, you guys still hold the opinion that Zoink is number 1. Like, we're not here to change each other's opinions. The time for discussion, there's a time and a place for everything. The time for discussing this was when the video dropped. And I don't mean to sound like a fucking condescending asshole, but y'all have not proven, some of you guys have not proven that you're able to handle this kind of discussion. So what's like, there's nothing else to be said at this point. It's like, we're not finding any common ground. That's already been proven. And I'm not trying to change your opinion, and whatever you guys have said has not changed my opinion. So there's really no sense in discussing this any further, which is why the comment section of this video is turned off. But if you want to make a response to this video, well, you've gotten to this video one of 2 ways: 1, in a pinned comment, and 2, in the community tab to my YouTube channel. So those are places where you can type up a response to this video, and hopefully that weeds out some of the foolishness, because for some reason, I already knew this, but it was just like something else entirely, experiencing the fact that YouTube comments aren't like a great place to have discourse. Like, you're gonna get a lot of people who, to be real, lack critical thinking skills, and you can take that how you want. I mean, if you think that applies to you, if you think I'm attacking you, that says a lot more about you than it does me. Not everybody in the comment section were making remarks that led me to think that, but like I already said, there was some good discussion here and there, but most of it was just ridiculousness. Then YouTube comments. I mean, in the last video that I dropped before the top 10 video, my comment section gave 100 likes to a commenter who wrote a comment about an argument that didn't apply to what I was saying in the video. And then in the reply section of that comment, the commenter admitted to not watching the video, but you guys gave him 100+ likes. So like, I don't go off of like the majority or whatever YouTube comments. It's just frivolous. But we're gonna take a look at some of the stuff that was discussed. So here's Trick's comment. He says, "It's funny as fuck that you don't put Zoink at #1 and kids in the comments actually get mad." Now, this was a decent bit after I posted this. That was just a lot of time to experience people calling you crazy and all this other stuff for having a different opinion. He says, "Nobody realizes that me, Zoink, and Popoff are all friends, and we don't care who's better. We're just having fun, having to be good. It's not that serious to where people are arguing." I will say this, it devolves, like, if he's referring to like this reply chain, it goes beyond like, oh, who's better. It's like it gets to a point where that's not the only reason why you're arguing. That's the sole reason why you're arguing, but that's not the only reason why. Let's say, for this example, somebody like left a shit in the bathroom, and then now it's not the fact that you leave the shit in the toilet without flushing it. It's like you get into the behavior that led to that. It's that I hope I'm making sense, but whatever. He's like, "Also, none of you sees what happens behind the scenes. You only see what we post about, and your arguments are all stupid in the comments. It's fun to talk about, but don't get mad over it." Yeah, that's true. He's essentially saying that you're missing context because a lot of what they do isn't being posted onto YouTube. But we can only go off of what is being posted. But I completely understand what Trick is saying, and I'm so thankful that he commented this, because like no other comment was like, pointing out the fact that everybody was getting overly upset over an opinion of mine that I made in one YouTube video. So that's a very respectable response. Bro, Exiled, I'm about to show your foolery. Okay. And then another thing too, it's like, oh yeah, why, like, where's all the energy at? Where's all the where's the smoke at? Like, talk to Trick. Tell him how much worse he is than Zoink. Don't tell me. Tell him. He's right here. It's like, why does it take the YouTuber with 150,000 subscribers to, like, recheck your actions? Okay, so this was actually a good response to Trick. He said, we know you guys are friends, the community loves you. But if someone is a better player objectively, we can't just not mention it. Zoink is still the best player in the world and by far the greatest GD player of all time. And unfortunately, your friendship doesn't affect that matter to which of you is better. So I agree that, like, their friendship doesn't affect, like, it was a decent response. However, like, Zoink is not objectively better than Trick. And it's kind of what I said earlier. I decided to scrap it. I didn't post it. But there's discussion to have. Whether you think Zoink is number one, Popoff number one, Trick number one, whatever. There's at least, like, they're so close in terms of skill that there's some discussion to be had at the very least. It's not like, oh, Zoink is number one and there's no debate. Like, no, there's discussion to be had. There's gray area. It's not black or white in this case, which is why this debate is even sparked to begin with. So when you say things like, when a player is objectively better, we can't not mention it, that's false. Zoink is still the best player in the world and by far the greatest GD player of all time. That's also an opinion, which is being stated as though it's a fact, when it's not. This is why I say that you guys are glazing Zoink. Some of you. And he says, I understand you getting mad for some kids, but calling everyone who says Zoink is better, which is 98% of the community, Zoink glazers, is not a good response. I agree that's not a good response, and that's why I didn't say that in my response. That's why I didn't use that as my response. My response is that if we take a look up here, I said I'm about to make another Geometry Dash Glaze episode the way y'all are talking about Zoink. If you hit the show more, I'm all for different opinions, differing opinions, but being nonsensical and calling it propaganda because a player didn't make it where you thought they were going to make it, on a list in a YouTube video is brazy. If you want to have a discussion, cool, but don't stay inside your own head, meaning be open to other people's opinions. And then I'm like, why are we even talking about this anyways? Like, I just brought to light to like 9,500 people how crazy underrated Netermind is. Like, I wish that there are more people talking about, like, damn, Netermind did all of that in a year. Damn, he's getting up there. He might be top one soon. Netermind has like a couple hundred more subscribers than me, which is insane for a community that values, you know, raw skill and talent. And we'll get into this thread a little bit afterwards because there's some good discussion, like more good discussion than there was just in the reply to the comments. And then we have this person disagreeing equals mad. No, even this person and yeah, this person right here, 8-year-old Vortrox viewers, when someone says Zoink isn't number one. Yeah, like, so there's people in here who can understand the difference between you having a different opinion and you just being ridiculous, which is why Trick said what he said to begin with. Having a different opinion, having the opinion that Zoink is top one doesn't mean that you're mad. It's how you conduct your comment. Septagon made a really good comment. I even said that it didn't really change my opinion. And we can get into it a little bit, but most of the reason why I said Zoink was number 3 as opposed to Trick and Popoff being 2 at 1 was in the video, so I'm not going to get too deep into it. But, you know, this is like an example of a good one. Might be worth mentioning that Quantu's processing no skate. Essentially, he's saying that Zoink is, like, his past achievements this year are harder than what he's and other people are, you know, led to believe. That's essentially what he's saying, and then he's like, I think this makes a good case for why Zoink should still be number 1, as he likely has harder achievements than his opinions would convey. That's a good response. That's a really good response. You know, that's not glazing. He's gave us reasoning right here and evidence, and also brought to light some stuff like that the community doesn't even know. So that's an example of a good one. I want to get into my reply thread. Exiled, I gotta do it to you, my boy. I gotta do it to you. Yeah, you were in like every single reply. I said to him also, I'm not seeing anything in the comment section that negates what I said in the video. People are just throwing around achievements like I didn't already explain it. And I said, I do respect your opinion though. And I said in the video, people make compelling reasons as to why Zoink is above Trick. You just can't sit and act like every time someone disagrees with me, I'm calling it glazing, because that's not. I said this 23 hours ago. It's not even like I'm trying to twist what I already wrote. I wrote that 23 hours, a whole day ago, damn near. He said he has gotten 50% on thinking space 2, which I'm pretty sure is harder than tidal wave. It's not. Zoink said that it's top 10. I'm sure it's not as hard as tidal wave. If something is harder than the hardest level in the game, I think that the person verifying or playing the level would automatically know. That's not something that is like, oh, it might be harder than tidal wave, you know what I mean? And then this person says he beat 17 list demons in 4 months, 2 of which are verifications, 5 of which are top 10, and he has the most list points. List points don't mean shit. I've explained that in the video. I've spent an entire other video explaining why that's also the case. Because when you have levels that are in like the top 10, top 20, or mainly like top 20, top 30 levels, they're below someone's skill range anyways. Like when we're talking about Zoink, Trick, Popoff, all those levels are below their skill range anyways. And now even some levels in the top 10, like I'd say like sub top 5, all of those levels are below Zoink, Trick, and Popoff's skill range. So the quantity of those kinds of levels that are beaten doesn't put one person above the other, in my personal opinion. I mean, I value top 10s because those are the top 10 levels in the game. You know, it's like you can't not place value on them. If somebody has like 5 more or 10 more even top 20s or top 30s than someone, that doesn't really mean much at all. Especially when you know that the other person can do them. At that point, it's what you decide to do with your time, like I already said. Frame perfect counters don't mean anything at all. Like Slaughterhouse has a lot more frame perfects than Acheron, but I think in a Trick stream he said that so many different levels can be placed in between Acheron and Slaughterhouse that because Acheron is just so much harder than Slaughterhouse. To be honest, I'll put Trick in 3rd or 4th. Damn. With Popoff being in undisputed 1st place, Trick hasn't improved at a crazy rate, but Zoink's improvement is completely underestimated too because of his position in 1st place without anyone quite comparable. Since Acheron, Zoink has beaten every single top 75 aside from Codependence, Acheron, Tidal Wave. Wait, what do we mean by every single top 75? We'll just say the top 75. And Trick, mind you, beat the top 71 at one point, or 71 levels out of the 75, out of the top 75, not the top 75, but 71 out of the 75. I'm very surprised, very in all caps, to not see WizKid. He's undeniably a top player after verifying NFE. I agree with this now. I do think he's a top player now based on my criteria of what a top player is. When I dropped the These Aren't Top Player videos, I said that he's the best player that wasn't a top player, and that's because he didn't beat Anathema at the time. But with Anathema beaten, that means he has a top 10 and several other main list levels, which completes one of the 3 criteria I had for what a top player is. But yeah, this is just opinion. I don't think this isn't Zoink glazing, because you said Popoff was the undisputed 1st. So obviously it's not Zoink glazing. And I don't think he glazed anybody in this reply section. I don't agree with it, especially with this part, but it's an opinion. It's respectable. I wanted to get into this thread I had with this person. We kind of figured it out, but I just want you guys to see like the, ridiculousness at some points. Saying that people saying Zoink is at top 1 is glazing, while you're glazing Trick harder than anyone is glazing Zoink. Huh? So that sentence did not make sense. Also, people beating levels first doesn't mean they are better, and that is a completely flawed argument. What if Zoink started these levels later? It's just a stupid way to compare top players, and it seems like you really don't know what you're talking about. What? And then watch how they backpedal. I said, I genuinely don't know what you're saying in the first sentence. You're essentially challenging what I'm saying. Zoink is being glazed based on the assumption that people are saying he should be top 1. Personally, I don't care if you think Zoink is top 1. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. It's the blatant ignoring of what I said in the video to spout off his achievements while saying things that aren't true. For instance, much more skilled than everyone else, which was said by, I think these are said in other comments. I'll put the thing up on the screen. And then like propaganda, I'll also show you that. Beat stuff in half the attempts of popoff, which isn't true. I don't think there's a single level Zoink has beat in unknown. I think Zoink beat in less attempts than, or half the attempts than popoff. And that was when popoff, that was before he beat Acheron, so he was nowhere near Zoink's skill level at that point in time. And he said that he got unlucky, that it was his unluckiest experience. So, you know, there's some nuance to everything, you know? And I said, so by me defending my argument in this context makes me glazing Trick, but not any of the other stuff in this comic section is glazing Zoink, or me defending Trick is somehow glazing Zoink, because this person said, saying that people saying Zoink is at top 1 is glazing while you're glazing Trick harder than anyone is glazing Zoink. Mind you, I've said nothing about Trick up until this point. I'm just defending my position. Like, do you know what you're talking about? So that being said, it's safe to assume you're taking the side of Zoink. Is it not fair that they're taking the side of Zoink? So I said, tell me if beating levels first is just a stupid way to compare players and it's a completely flawed argument. I said, what merit do the arguments in the above replies to this pinned comment have? Then I list off like examples of what people said. Like, don't forget he's verified or been first victor of nearly every level in the top 10. That was something that was said by this person right here. In this reply that got 11 likes. So it's like, you probably saw it. And then this was in another comment, like, I think Zoink's still number 1 because he beats all the levels he's verified way before everyone else. So it's like, if you hold that opinion, the opinion that people beating levels first doesn't mean they are better and that it's a completely flawed argument. Well, first of all, I never said that. The people on your side of the argument, the people who hold the same opinion as you do, was using that argument as a way to justify their belief. So why not call them out? That's essentially what I was saying. He said, why did he write a whole chapter, a Bible chapter? It's not that deep. So now we're pulling out the it's not that deep card. And it's a pussy move. He says, I don't care if anyone else thinks that Zoink is better because he beats levels first. I'm debunking your argument right now, although failing to actually debunk my argument because you didn't attack anything that I said. You were attacking the things that the people on your side of the argument said. Your side being the people who hold the same opinion as you, which is Zoink should be number 1. So I think it's pretty clear that Zoink is better than Trick because Trick had to sneak up on Zoink to get to the top 1 spot, and then Zoink literally took it right back. He didn't take it right back. It was 3 months, and then it required Trick to not do anything, which Trick said, I don't know if you guys saw it in the stream, but he said that he only wanted the top 1 position at one point, and that fighting for top 1 is like mentally exhausting. And I said, you attempted to debunk an argument that wasn't even there to begin with while simultaneously holding me to a standard you should have held the people on your side of the argument to. And you came back to this thread, so it's like deep enough for you. Tell me it's not that deep. Come on, bro. Like, if you're engaging back and forth in the conversation, you're also invested in it. Don't act like you're not. Lastly, the fact that I said I don't care if anyone else says that Zoink is better because he beats level first, while initially also saying, so people beating, because am I crazy? Did he not say also beating levels first doesn't mean they are better, and that is a completely flawed argument, right? Right here, people beating levels first doesn't mean they are better, and that is just a completely flawed argument. And then here they said, I don't care if anyone else says that Zoink is better because he beats levels first. So you do care because you said that it's a flawed argument. You do care. And I said, the fact that you said that suggests that you're on DMT. So I said, as long as you keep saying goofy shit, I'm gonna keep writing you Bible chapters. I said, this is chapter 1, verse 2. I'm sorry, but I laughed when I wrote that. I'm sorry. And then he says, why are you acting like there are sides? I'm just saying my opinion. Because okay, I think I literally explained it in another comment. He says, I'm not holding any standards to anyone but you right now. Yeah, that's the problem. He said, that's why I'm arguing with you. He said, you claim I didn't debunk anything when you didn't even address anything I said about how I think Zoink is the best player. That's true. That last part was true. I'm just not about to like address this when you're like, when I have to set so many things straight. I basically said everything that I said in this comment. He said, make sure, this other person said, make sure you include your pop-off glaze as well.
What are you talking about?
If I could find it, I've said nothing about W pop-off in this reply section. Nothing about W pop-off. I have not wrote that nigga's name in this section, in this comment section. But in terms of the video, the only thing I could think of is like in the video, I gave him like a longer section, but I also gave Zoink a longer section on last year's video because he was number one. It's like, yeah, you're the number one player in my opinion, so I'm gonna show off all the things that makes you number one in my opinion. That's just how I edit my videos. I don't know if that's glazing or whatever. That's the only thing I can think of because I did not mention Popoff's name once in this reply thread. I think it's a fair point, except for the fact that he's number one on stats viewer. That doesn't equate to skill. I even said as much in the video. One right now, I just feel like Zoink at number one makes more sense than Trick or Popoff. I mean, that's a fair take. That's not glazing. That's just your opinion. But whatever, we know what he's saying. What did that mean? You think that top DN1 bust is better than... I don't even know who this is. I'd have to do my research. I'm pretty sure that there's other factors determining the difference between their skill. Like, I'm pretty sure it's not like, oh, so you think this, therefore you must think that. Like, that's never how shit works. Is that a double standard for Trick if saying Zoink on top is glazing? And then I said no, because it's not Zoink on top is glazing. It's the ignoring of what I said in the video and coming up with needless arguments and arriving at a conclusion without a faithful take or conversation. I said everyone's opinion is worth the same until you don't have enough respect to articulate yours in good faith and then pretend that me having an opinion that deviates from yours is a form of insanity. That's basically what I think now. That's my position on this entire argument. This person says, dude, you don't have any logic. That's why people are disagreeing with you.
What are you talking about?
I think people are disagreeing with me. Maybe. I don't know. This is just a theory. This is just a wild stretch. Maybe because Zoink is the most subscribed top player on YouTube. Maybe because he got voted best player 2023 by like 90%. Maybe because he's like a fan favorite. Maybe because he's highly regarded in the community. Maybe that's why. How many subscribers does Doggie have? Yeah, he has less than Zoink. Doggie has less subscribers than Zoink. Yeah, so Zoink is the most subscribed top player of Geometry Dash YouTube. Maybe that's why everyone is disagreeing with me, other than me not having any logic, which I've displayed several times. I mean, I think you've shown he's being the entire top 14, which neither Trick or Popoff has done. And then he's saying the levels that they didn't beat. I mean, which is fair, but that goes into my point about not valuing even like anything sub top 5 to these top 3, the big 3. We'll call them the big 3. Because look, Popoff didn't have half of the top 10 done by the middle of the year. But what happened in the summer? He beat Abyss of Darkness in 4 days. He beat Avernus in a week. What happened when he actually started going for them? And it's like, we know that they have what it takes to do that. Therefore, levels below their threshold, their skill threshold, it doesn't matter which player has the higher quantity of levels below their skill set. Okay, now here's where the glazing is. It's not even conceivable to think. I mean, this is a fair point. This is a fair point right here. I'm not ignoring that. That's a fair point. Okay, this is a terrible mindset to have. Even I'm not 100% correct in all the things that I said in the video. I still stand by them, but who knows? It may not be, the opinions that I have may not age well. But thinking that nothing you say is wrong is just like, that's what's honestly hilarious, as they've stated right here. It's not even conceivable to think that Popoff or Trick could currently be above Zoink in any way. Full stop. That right there is Glaze. It's not even conceivable. I mean, what you said was like, half decent. It was a half decent response. But then, you know, there's just like this little bit of glaze drizzled in there. Zoink has the best accomplishments in the game currently and recently. What do you mean by the best? Because Popoff has Slaughterhouse 3 times in a row, which he's the only person to have Slaughterhouse 3 times in a row and Tidal Wave. And he says that Slaughterhouse 3 times in a row is harder. So, like, if we take that at face value, who really has, like, what do you mean by the best achievement in the game? Trick has beaten Tidal Wave and has 61% on a level even harder than Tidal Wave. So what do you mean by best achievement in the game? Call this glazing if you want, but nothing I said is oh my god. It's just the attitude. It's not what they're saying. It's just the attitude of some of these people. And then this person also said, you realize that number 4, 6, 7, and 12, and 15 are relatively new levels added to the list. Exactly, which is why I'm saying when you beat levels below your skill range, it's just a matter of what you decide to do with your time. Those achievements have less merit as long as the other people we're comparing them to has somewhat of the same like amount of levels done. Like Zoink has the top 10, Trick has the top 8, and progress on a level harder than anything in the top 10. I don't think me saying whatever Trick is better than Zoink is that controversial. Like a good response to like everything in this thread is what I said right here. People are also throwing around Ashley Wave Trials, Quantu, Spectre, and Anathema in 2 weeks when Trick spent that same time practicing a level harder than the hardest level in the game, like I already said in the video, giving him, in my opinion, the slight edge over Zoink. Not that controversial, to be honest. Everyone is getting their G-string in a bunch. Which is why I pinned the comment informing everyone that another episode of GD Glaze is coming out. It's like, bro, I'm trying to have fun. Like, y'all are ruining the vibe. Like, let's just actually have a discussion. Alright, so we're done with this reply thread. Sorry, that was very time consuming. Zoink not number 1 makes no sense. I'm sorry. You're ignoring half of his achievements from this year. He's still untouchable. That is Glaze. Do you know why? Because you're just saying shit without giving me a reason. And I also included his achievements from 2022 and 2023. So I don't know. He's still untouchable. Like it's the attitude that he's just so far above everybody. That's what gets me. This is a subscriber of mine. I don't agree with what they're saying. Like, oh, he destroyed him and Trick couldn't keep up at all. That's factually incorrect because Trick got the number 1 spot back immediately after Zoink decided to take it back. And then he was number 1 for 3 months. And then he just did not try. He hasn't uploaded anything on his porno crate except Spectre, I think. Zoink is number 1. He slowed down in 2024 because he ran out of stuff to beat. Bro, this is Glaze. This is Glaze and it has 113 likes. He ran out of stuff to beat. There's impossible list levels. He didn't run out of stuff to beat because you guys are giving me stuff that he's beaten and using it as an argument as to why he should be in number 1. He slowed down because he was stuck on nullscapes and he needed a mental health break. That's why he slowed down. And I said he slowed down a bit this year but still held it down. So I'm still, like, he still had a good year. But factually, like, compared to 2023, factually speaking, I believe that he has done less in 2024 than 2023. I think that's a fact. He ran out of stuff to beat. That's Glaze, bro. Hey guys, I'm taking a mental health break for a couple of weeks. Yeah, I'm just not really feeling it. So I'm just gonna take a break and I'll see you guys in like a month or 2. MDog5 left YT because he ran out of videos to make. He already recorded videos on all topics. Zoink is still easily the best player in the game. Trick wasn't even number 1 for 2 weeks and Zoink beat him again. Okay, this has no merit. He has verified 6 top levels, 6 top 10 levels. In my opinion, we still have a long time before someone surpasses Zoink. Okay, well, in my opinion, 2 people have surpassed him. Just as much value. I don't think this is glazing. I don't think this is glazing, actually. There's no way you guys put WizKid above Light. Light beat Acheron, Avernus, what, Kiyuki, I mean, those two are levels that he beat before WizKid beat Anathema, which is a level easier than those two. But then also he beat Abyss of Darkness and Kiyuki before WizKid beat Menace, which was his hardest, and it ended up being top 14. And Kiyuki and Abyss of Darkness are still in the top 10. I personally don't think WizKid is close to Light. This is Glaze. Zoink is definitely number one. He has much why the double much more skill than anyone else, and is being and verified like everything. What the fuck? That's Glaze, bro. Come on. You're not articulating anything. Hey, great vid, but I think Trick should be 3, Popoff 2, Zoink at 1 due to how Cookie's beating Demons Down. Popoff has shown a lot of inactivity. That's fair. That is not Glaze. That's fair. I can't say that Zoink isn't number one when he has half of the top 10 verified by him. That's a fair take. Not Glaze. Probably still number one in my opinion. It's hard to say though. See, finally, this is somebody who also, like the Glazers, think that Zoink is number one, but he said it's hard to say. Thank you for admitting that there's nuance to the conversation. Thank you so much. Just my opinion though. Good video. See? Why can't we have more people like this? Zoink is still number one. It's clear, to be honest. Trick is super inconsistent and isn't top one on Point of Crate anymore. He's done. No motivation either. I don't think this is Glaze, but it's like, it's a bad attitude. It's clear. It's not clear. It's hard to say though. Which one is it? I say that Zoink is still at the top because he absolutely dethroned Trick at the number one spot, even after months of being stuck on nullscapes, in a way that they have almost 1,000 points difference. And he's also, okay, they have 1,000 point difference. They have a 1,000 point difference. I don't even think he's been playing as much, but they both have. He has 59 mains and he has 58 mains. I don't get it. Why is no one throwing that out? Since we're talking about Point of Crate, that's information readily available on Point of Crate. And put in less attempts in completions than Popoff this year, of course. And in terms of skill, he's better in almost all possible kinds of gameplay. He's faster and putting less attempts in completions than Popoff this year. I think that's factually incorrect. I think Popoff completed more levels and had less attempts on the levels him and Zoink both played, except for Unknown and Tidal Wave. He said, good video, and I agree with most of the spots here, but this comment section is crazy. Zoink has a fan club here. He meant to say fan club, that are just mad. Thank you, bro. At least I'm not the only one. I thought I was going crazy. Popoff is known for being a faster learner and beats levels in record time and attempts. Saying nullscapes is pretty sure top one with hardest cataclysm. Just trust the process. Okay, he's mocking like the arguments that some people are making, which is honestly like the same energy that a lot of people have been giving. Had to dislike. You ignored a lot of achievements that Zoink did. Zoink is still number one. Keep it fair, man.
The fuck?
I said he verified the top 3 back to back to back with Acheron, then Avernus, and then Tidal Wave. That was 14 accomplishments that I listed. Let's see how many I gave Trick. So I literally gave Zoink. I said I gave 13 different accomplishments on Trick and 13 on Zoink. So I literally gave them the same amount of accolades. So this is objectively false. Keep it fair. I think I did. For real. Nigga said for real. Oh my god. Get your goofy propaganda out of here. We all know Zoink is still number one. Come out of it. It is just the timestamp of when I said Zoink was number 3. This is absolutely Glaze. Propaganda. Now Zoink is so ahead of anybody else that it would be propaganda to have a different opinion. If that's not Glaze, I don't know what is. Hell no, this guy's a yap fest. I agree with you. Zoink is still number one. He just hasn't been going crazy like he has in the past. Bro ran out of levels to obliterate. This is Glaze as well. Low like, he's just not top 10 in my opinion. It's not that I pretended that he didn't exist. He's not so good that like it would be crazy for me to not include him in the top 10. Zoink obviously top 1. Like it's the obviously for me. I'm sounding like the bitches that I be around, bro. Obviously, I said it's obviously for me, bro. Oh my god, bro. Zoink obviously top 1. Obviously. I laughed out loud when I saw this one. Zoink is obviously number 1. It's not debatable. Compare the things Zoink has done in 2024 to Trick or Popoff, and you'd easily have a number 1 conclusion. What does that mean? And I have compared the things that they did in 2024, and I had my conclusion. Oh my gosh. And it's not Glaze. Simply the objective truth. Oh my god, hold on. I'm not blowing out a candle. I see you killing me. Oh my gosh. See, and now we have a sane and logical person. I agree with Zoink number 1, although I would say they are close in general skill, that any orientation of them in the top 3 has a valid point. So you aren't wrong either. Thank you. Thank you. A different opinion than mine, but at least we can recognize that these 3 are super close and that there's a conversation to be had around it. And then we have somebody who's just completely for Popoff. Popoff be like me, I'll like I'll recognize the nuance to it. You know what I mean? I still think Popoff is number 1, but you know, they're close. And again, any orientation of them is valid. This guy is totally for Popoff. So like same energy. You guys are finally getting like a tiny bit of the energy that you guys were putting off. You hearted every comment saying Popoff better than Zoink. You're just a Zoink hater and Popoff glazer. This person said that Zoink was better. What else did I heart? This person said that Zoink has a case for number 1. So that's already 2 people whose comment I hearted that said that Zoink was better. Wait, hold on. I don't know why we're searching so hard. The comment that he's literally referring to is one that said Zoink is better than Popoff or is number 1, and you hearted it. What a dumbass. I mean, why am I entertaining? Why am I going through like bullshit? Why is this person laughing? Did it really hurt that much that my opinion is that Popoff is better than Zoink that we just decimated my comment section? I like how you said you're well versed with the community, but you don't understand how the game plays. What suggests that I don't understand how the game plays? Like in terms of like physically, like understanding how the game plays? Like if you're suggesting anything else, that's not what you're describing in your comment. You're describing, I don't understand how the game plays. But I've beaten 2, maybe 3 extreme demons by the time this video drops. So I don't know how I could do that without understanding how the game plays. That's not really something that happens. I don't know. The way things went this year, I don't see Trick or Popoff coming out better than Zoink. Zoink successfully defended his spot from Trick. Yeah, I think you guys are valuing point of crate a little bit too much. Even when I said in the video that point of crate placement doesn't relate to skill, and that I made a whole video explaining why. But the rest of what he says is okay. But I don't think that like this is valid either. The only thing that gives his competitors an edge is the ungodly amount of top 1s being verified by his opponents, which would ruin Zoink if he didn't finish those quickly after they came out. That's not true. Said nope. Popoff beat Zoink's achievements way faster than him. Also beat VSC twice in the same day. Slaughterhouse 3 times in a row and 100 times total. Acheron 11 times. I wouldn't have said keep yapping, but everything else he says is factually correct. Except for like all of Zoink's achievements faster than him. He's beaten Zoink's achievements a lot of Zoink's achievements faster than him. So basically having consistency in one level makes you the best player. But this person listed consistency in 1 level, 2 levels, 3 levels. Oh, I guess your point is null and void. This person, I don't know why I'm like it's just so blatantly Now, I don't know why I'm fixating on it so much. I'm just interested in reading the comments. So 3 times in a row, he said, how is Popoff's achievements better than Zoink? He beat Slaughterhouse 3 times in a row, which is harder than Tidal Wave. He beat VSC twice in one day under 20,000 attempts. He beat almost all the top 15 way faster than Zoink could ever do. I don't know if could ever do. Like, we don't know people's potential, but he did beat the top 15 faster than Zoink did. In terms of those individual levels, Avernus in 1 week, Abyss of Darkness, Kiyuki, Cosmos in 8,000 attempts, Firework in 8,000 attempts. I mean, these are just, like, it's just verifiably proven facts. Acheron in less attempts than Zoink when I considered Zoink a better player than Popoff. He does not have consistency on only one level, and his achievements this year is way harder than Zoink's. I don't think he read my comment because I mentioned all of the things I said on here. On that one, and you're still saying Popoff's achievements are worse than Zoink. This guy says you literally just said the same thing again. Consistency isn't what makes someone good. Huh? Well, he didn't literally just say the same thing again. Consistency isn't what makes someone good. You say he beat the top... What? Consistency? It's a factor. It's a huge factor into what makes somebody good. You say he beat the top 16 way faster than Zoink. How about this? If we flipped this and if he were describing Zoink, he would not have said consistency isn't what makes somebody good. If he said that Zoink beat something Slaughterhouse 3 times in a row, which is harder than Tidal Wave, if he said that Zoink beat VSE twice in one day, if he said that he beat the top 15 faster than another player, he would not be saying consistency isn't what makes somebody good. I know that for a fact. He'd be the top 16 way faster than Zoink can never do, and yet Zoink has well over 3,000 points than Popoff in the demon list, plus he verified half the top 15 anyways. Verifying half the demon list doesn't mean you beat it faster than another person. And then again, you guys are value pointer crate points. Alright, I'm not gonna read any more of this. This is a tiny bit of Glaze, far better than anyone else currently. Far better than anyone else. That's a little drizzle of Glaze. But I respect your opinion. Bro, Exile, this nigga is in the comments, in the replies of everybody's comments that was supporting Zoink. Okay, this person, I thought they were trolling. No, Zoink being not on top 1 cannot be excused without any reasons. What solidifies him above Zoink and Trick is his speed and consistency. Top 10 levels faster than he has. Solid club step, Avernus, Tunnel, Abyss. He's faster than Zoink and is beating levels in even less time and attempts. And I admitted that was insane. Popoff beat Zoink's hardest, which is Tidal Wave, on top of beating Slaughterhouse 3 times in a row, which is debatably even harder than Tidal Wave. And he's been practicing Vehemence, which is harder than Tidal Wave. So I don't know what we mean by any reasons, without any reasons. Quantus, No-Scapes, Tidal Wave beaten 5 times. Like, this person's trolling. This person is trolling and glazing at the same time. Like, how are you trolling and glazing at the same time? Nigga said, you got me in the first half. Wait. Does he not know how, like, crazy he sounds? 5 times. Acheron beaten tens of times. All of these in 0 attempts. By 0 attempts, I meant that he beat all the top levels with a lot lower attempt count than anybody. Shut your goofy ass up. Oh my god, bro. About Tidal Wave 5 times. And about Tidal Wave 5 times, and Acheron tens of times. It's just true. He did that, and it got him a lot of skill. Servax told me he... Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Please reply to me. Bro, this comic section is a movie, my nigga. Bro, what am I looking at? Zoink is for sure the best player, as he can beat levels of all types, and he could probably beat Slaughterhouse more times than in a row than W Popoff if he grinded it the same way. Oh my goodness gracious. That's Glaze. Popoff didn't beat Acheron 11 times. He did. He said that he did, and then beat Acheron. There are like 2 streams where he beat Acheron just like that. So like, I'm gonna believe him if he says that he beat it 11 times. Just like 100 times. Like Trick and Popoff I've only seen Trick beat Slaughterhouse like 3 times, but they said that he beat it 120 times, and based on his performance in the Slaughterhouse race, I believe him. Same thing goes with Popoff. I've seen him beat Slaughterhouse like 10 times maybe, but he definitely beat it over 100 times, because like he used to warm up, like he would stream and then he would warm up before playing a level like Poo Cubed or some other shit. He would warm up by beating Slaughterhouse once every single stream. Whereas Lowlike, how the fuck, all caps, is Zoink not number 1? It's undisputed. Popoff has basically quit the game at this point. Undisputed, that's Glaze. Bro forgot Zoink is still number 1 on Pointer Crate. Oh my god, bro. How come y'all niggas aren't saying that Thunder is better than Popoff? Because, look here. Popoff is below Netermind and Thunder on the demon list. Or nobody's getting mad at the fact that I put Popoff above Thunder. If Pointer Crate means so much. You guys think Snowballer and Super Javicon is better than Doggie? Oh, but what about WizKid? Popoff at 1 is crazy. That's Glazed. Crazy, I think, is better. Wait, so if it's understandable, then how is him at number 1 crazy? Zoink just proved again in December there's a gap between him, Popoff, and Trick. Nobody's more consistent and skilled overall than him. That's Glaze. You're not giving me an example. You're just saying shit.
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
Zoink not being number 1 is about as real as Space UK's clicks. You said L rage bait. I think Zoink is still number 1, or 1 number, as he beat Anathema, Spectre, Quantus, Kozetsu, Ashley, Menace, No Skips, and many more levels not in the top 20 in only 4 months. That's a fair point. That's not Glaze. We got someone rooting for Trick. It was like Popoff and doesn't even upload his completions right away like Zoink. So yeah, that's also a very good point. Trick takes like 10 years to upload a video. Zoink lied about tidal wave attempts. He has 67,000 attempts in total. He lied about beating it in 50,000. Wait, is this for real?
Is this nigga serious?
Wait, so all along? Wait, hold on. Wait, this might fuck up my my attempt count doesn't matter video. It was proven, was this proven that Zoink was lying about attempt counts? Top 1 spot is debatable between Zoink and W Popoff, but Popoff has bigger potential. That's a fair take. 18 replies, uh-oh. I think you're underestimating Zoink's. Popoff is nowhere close. This is Glaze. This is Glaze. I don't feel like, wait, I'm gonna be here forever. He said, fuck you mean Popoff is nowhere close. Why you say fuck you mean? Yo, FYM is like the best fucking acronym that you could type, because it's just, it's like so like meek. It just looks so meek, like just like a little FYM. But like when you read it out loud, it's like fuck you mean. I don't feel like reading this, bro. Having consistency on 1 level makes you the best now. Also, how is Popoff achievements beat Zoinks? Never saw him verify the entire top 3, let alone the entire top 10. And that's not mentioning all of his unrated verifications too. All Popoff does is play 1 level more times than other, and people just keep glazing and deriding him. Just all the things I mentioned on sound here, that one, and you're still saying Popoff's achievements are worse than Zoink, because it is, bro. I mean, these are just opinions. Like No Skips, Anathema, Spectre, Menace, half of the top 10 verified. How many verifications does Popoff have again? Bro, why are we putting verifications above completions as well? Because it's slightly harder to verify a level, or more mentally taxing to verify a level? Which I will admit, there is something about verifying a level that's slightly harder, but I think people have certain affinities towards different things, and Zoink definitely has an affinity to verifying instead of beating, just straight up beating levels. One competed with a hacker, Space UK, and won. That doesn't mean anything in terms of this conversation. At the time, that's super, like, that's like, damn. 3,390 points ahead on Popoff on Pointer Crate. If the second guy is so much better. So now we're like overblowing arguments. Bro, well, it's because he beat a lot of easier demons that do not mean any skill, and W Popoff did almost all his Zoink's achievements faster than Zoink did. Not could ever do, but did. This is just like a back and forth between two people that I'm not gonna like go over it. I don't know, bro. Somebody says the top 1 spot is debatable between Zoink and W Popoff. Popoff has more potential. 3 likes, 18 replies. That should tell you something about the climate of the comment section in favor of Zoink. Y'all are thinking that I'm crazy for saying that y'all are glazing. YouTube shouldn't have removed the dislike count. No, I got you. Don't worry about it. Not that it means, like, I hope you realize that the amount of likes a comment has on a video or the amount of dislikes you have on another, like, video, it doesn't really mean anything. Besides, like, tutorial video, it means that you don't agree with what is being said, or, like, a vast majority of people don't agree with what's being said. Like, the only thing that, like, where dislikes have merit is, like, tutorial videos. Like, oh, this was a bad tutorial. Don't watch this shit. But I got you. Oh my gosh, 87% like rate, 87.6% like rate with 529 likes. Yeah, YouTube should have removed the dislike count. Oh my god, no. Stupidity. I used to be a D1 Zoink hater, but there's no denying that he's the best player at the moment. This is like, I don't think this is a Glaze because, I don't know, is this Glaze? No denying that he's the best player at the moment. I don't think that's glazy. I don't think that's too glazy. Ain't no way you put Popoff above Trick and Zoink. What do you mean? Fuck you mean ain't no way? Popoff Glazer's back at it again? The only person in this comment section glazing W Popoff is this person. But honestly, with the amount of people glazing Zoink, it is well justified. It is super well justified. This video is pure ego. I don't know, like, do you not understand? Like, I would go crazy by, like, reading all this shit. Thankfully, we're almost done. A person's sense of self-esteem or self-importance. What do I gain for saying someone else is the best at the game other than, like, over another person? How's that my ego? This was also a good, like, this was, I don't agree with the opinion, but I think that this is, like, a good comment. Like, not glaze, this is what I mean, like, good conversation to be had. Zoink not being #1 has 0 sense. Like, of course he will slow down what he had to beat. Like, man has top 4 verified. Well, yeah, so this is what I was referring to. I still think Zoink is #1 because he beat all the levels he verified way before anyone else. So in that thread, that's what I was referring to. You make good points, but you use some things for one person, but don't for other. I'm sure I could clarify if they gave me an example. Probably because there are different circumstances in terms of different people's achievements. Like, I'm not gonna, like, if you haven't beaten VSC, which is like a challenge level, like, I'm not gonna include the fact that you've beaten challenge levels, or that someone beat a certain amount of levels 3 times in a row or 100 times, or like if it's just not common knowledge. Thunder is better than Doggie. Yeah, I hard disagree, but that's not that controversial. Oh yeah, my roommate said that the no-scapes glaze was crazy in the comment section. That's what my roommate texted me. Bro, Exiled, why are you in every... Bro, for like the first 15 hours of the video dropping, Exiled has been in like every single comment section, bro. Exiled, you are almost like this person for Zoink. That's the energy. Like, come on, bro. Honestly, Incognito was a good commenter for being on Zoink's side. I agree with your top 3. People who put Zoink at #1 look at the achievements, but raw skill is more important. I'd put Laser next to Netermind, though. He is super underrated and beats Spectre super fast. Also, in my opinion, Thunder should be #4. He shreds top levels. Good video. So that's a fair opinion. Popoff is better than Zoink in skill, and if Popoff was as active as Zoink, he'd smoke him in every way, and everybody would say he's the best. I think he's just inactive right now. I'm looking forward to his return. Okay, Exiled, I take what I said back. You're playing both sides a little bit. I respect it. Okay, I think I'm pretty much done. Yeah, I'm gonna just look at, you know, this on my own time. But yeah, I think I've definitely shown that there's a lot of glaze in this comment section. I literally spent an hour looking at different comments of people glazing Zoink, and all of y'all will be on the episode of Geometry Glaze after this video drops. I can't wait. Oh my gosh. But yeah, man, my point is that there's no... You gotta excuse my dog. His mom's home. It's okay to have an opinion, but don't act like someone deviating from the opinion that you have in your mind is like witchcraft in the 1700s. That's all. Peace out. Hope to see all of you guys in more videos.
Bruh. 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 Bruh.
Pinky ring worth about 250. Two-tone my Lambo that's drippy. Hurry up the bottle that she tipsy. Can't trust these hoes cause they're hippie. So best string gon' slide now. Money at my house, that's a vibe now.